There goes my hero. He's ordinary. There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to After School Special Podcast. Today we discuss role models. As Slapgate goes into its second week.
Slapgate.
And we won't really be talking about it too much, even though it did give us a shit ton of views and a lot of listens.
Yeah.
So, After School Special Podcast is now solely hashtags. We follow the hashtags, people. And this week we're talking about Ukraine. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're talking role models. And John was about to bring up, well, a point made by me.
Yeah. So Aaron had made a good point about, how Hollywood is out of touch and how comedians are out of touch. And should you really have any role models within the entertainment world? You brought up something, never meet your heroes. And I remember hearing that once on this show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where one of the officers on there was like, he's a foodie, he likes to eat. And he said the same thing, never meet your heroes. He's like, Marie Callender is a real bitch. So I think about that and it's like, yeah, man, when you look at a celebrity, are you awestruck because this person is famous? And are you not looking at the fact that they're human and they are fallible? That they
flaws. That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, I mean, how many people still take pictures with OJ even after knowing what OJ has done?
Did you see the video of him on TikTok? There's a bunch of white people in his room waking him up to party at 2 or 3 in the morning. It's a bunch of blonde bitches, which we all know it's not a good thing to be around OJ.
What if he's a bad waker-upper? What if he's one of those grumpy people that and then he somehow has a shank in his hand,
Yeah,
shit.
I was gonna say he's got a knife in his hand.
Yeah, he wakes up and it's like, what's that? Shining, where the room is all red, the red room. Yeah, he wakes up.
Oh, The Shining. Yeah,
Kubrick. Yeah.
I wonder if he can blame it. Kubrick. I probably did. I can't speak well.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, could he use the defense like he was sleepwalking if that happened? No.
OJ did that shit, and if he didn't do it, then it was his son. It could have been. There's that rumor and whatnot. We won't get too detailed into it, but his son definitely had some anger issues. His older son from a different marriage had a lot of anger issues and did not like Nicole.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
And he covered it up because he loves his son and he's a devoted father. Or it could have been a hitman. It could have been a hitman.
Well, let's stick to the father thing because role models, right?
Yes.
So I look at it like this: people are flawed. I don't think they're considered role models anymore. If we're looking from TV to movies, I don't think anyone thinks Huxtable is a role model anymore. If you know what I mean.
Well, let's examine that for a minute. Do we look at the actor or the character? The character would still be considered, hey, Cliff Huxtable is the iconic dad, while the actor is a shitty individual.
Is that show still in syndication, John? I don't know.
No, it's not in syndication anymore, but it's a question I'm asking though.
For me now, if he was just playing the part, maybe, but in this instance, he wrote that character. As far as he wrote that character, he wrote that show. It is hard for me to separate him from that. Now, that's not everything, but for me to separate all the things that he did, and it's I'll admit too, I watched some of his comedy specials. They weren't my thing. I was more of a Richard Pryor guy.
Yeah.
But it's hard to separate that. Whereas I know a lot of these other comedians. Let me see. Well, Fred Sanford did some shitty things.
Yeah, Red Fox was not a great person.
I was going to say, I respect that character.
Yeah.
That character was a great character. It is, for some reason, it is hard for me to separate Cosby from Huxtable. You have other characters like Family Matters cop dad.
Winslow.
Winslow.
That is a great character, and actually the guy that plays, does anyone know his first name, the character's first name?
Reginald VelJohnson.
That's
Reginald VelJohnson. That's his actual name?
Yeah.
As far as I know, he's, a good dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, that's why it's like having... Now, I had a different background. I didn't really... How do I say this? It's not really saying... I didn't look up to my dad. I didn't. Yeah. So I didn't really have... I looked at movies and whatnot. I looked up to Joe Pesci and Goodfellas. Probably not the greatest person to look up to.
Yeah.
Wait, you really did? You looked up to him?
Oh, I love those characters because they were tough. Because they didn't take shit. Whereas, like, most of my life as a kid, like going into high school, I had to take a lot of shit.
Why?
So I looked up to those characters. Why? I didn't have any friends. I went to a totally different school. I didn't know anyone. We had to make that switch. Like, a lot of kids went to the same district, same school, so same friends. Whereas I didn't go to public school for a little bit throughout, like, let me see here, elementary to middle school. I went to a Lutheran school. And then all of a sudden the switch happened because my mom couldn't afford to take us to Lutheran High North, which is where all my friends were going. So I had to go to Dakota, which, it is what it, was. I ended up finding my group of friends after a while, but like I looked up to those people because they didn't take shit, in a sense. I guess their dads were kind of absentee and didn't look up to them either. So for me, when we look at role models, I can look at the character or whatnot, but I'll be honest, Bill Cosby, it's hard to separate those two because he wrote the character. Yeah. And I know Red Foxx wrote that character.
Yeah. But it was a combination of Red Foxx, Richard Pryor, Norman Lear. They all had a part in building this character. Yeah. That's why when he tried to get more money, they were like, oh, well, not that Richard Pryor had anything to do with that, but when he tried to get more money, they're like, well, we can see what we can do with Grady at that point. Yeah. And that's how come they had that one season where Grady was the lead the entire time. And there was no Red. He was in quote unquote St. Louis because he was holding out for money at the time. So I can understand how it's hard to separate the two, but it's something that, I don't know, man, like Cosby is an anomaly because he did some very horrible things and it really took the wind from beneath a lot of people who really enjoyed that show. Mm-hmm. And the other thing with Cosby too, the whole Cosby thing is weird. When I think of Cosby, I think of Judd Apatow, and it annoys me with that because how much Judd went to all lengths to make sure that Cosby got put away in bars, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But he didn't have that same energy for James Franco. He didn't have that same energy for the behavior that happened on Freaks and Geeks. Mm-hmm. And no one has made him accountable for that.
Can you explain that for a second, John? I didn't know about that. Judd Apatow, he went out of his way to get after
He went
Cosby.
to Cosby shows and everything and was protesting and was holding up signs saying, hey, this dude's a rapist. And Judd Apatow was really vocal in making sure that his disdain for Cosby was known. Ironically, he did the same thing with Will Smith recently on Twitter. But again, no one has held Judd Apatow accountable for his relationship with Franco.
I was going to say his silence on Franco.
Yeah, his silence on Franco and what happened with Busy Phillips on the set of Freaks and Geeks, I guess. I mean, it was a lot of things that went on that I guess she was being bullied and he was laughing about it and just letting it go under the rug. And he hasn't been held accountable, which goes to, again, Aaron's earlier point of people in Hollywood being out of touch. And I think there is a problem with that, especially when you think you're a part of the solution when you're still a part of the problem. And I just feel like Judd needs to be held accountable too. He needs to come in front of the congregation as well and kind of answer for that.
He's not the only person. There's multiple people where it's like, so if we want to be honest, like this is not only a thing on role models, this is also a thing like on Hollywood and how it's more or less shaped. These people are out of touch. Like, well, they think that movies are real. Like the whole thing with Will Smith, and I'll just touch on this one more time. We're not gonna. I don't really want to dig into this. I don't think anyone else wants to, unless we want those views. Give us those views.
Hell yeah.
Give us that money.
Wasn't that great?
No, but see, like, I'm out of touch. That's what Hollywood wants me to do, and be that guy.
You think you're out of touch for real?
No.
Don over here doing his Dr. Katz impression every time. He keeps asking these more poking questions.
That's a very Freudian viewpoint, Aaron.
Yeah.
Are you talking about your penis and how you want your mother to... What?
Speaking of penis, Lil Nas X was performing at the Grammys, and he was wagging around like the microphone by his privates. That was
I thought maybe he was like, because he dresses in flamboyant costumes. I thought maybe he dressed up as a penis.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
for the audience, I'm watching the Grammys just in case some shit goes down.
But so, to my point, where Will Smith went up there thinking that he was in the right, and it's like this whole like this movie thing, and all you guys know, I have a problem or issue when people think that their lives are movies, that people are Twitter warriors and whatnot, and writing or saying things that good. I'm glad you believe in something. Stand up for your beliefs. But when this is something that literally doesn't involve you, I don't know, like the whole Twitter warrior thing. Everyone, what I was telling John is they think that their opinions are truth and that they are the most important thing in the world, which in reality, they are assholes. They smell. Everyone has them, butts. That's what I'm talking about. Butts. They're just looking at me like, the fuck was your point for all of that?
I don't know.
But yeah, I like the whole Cosby thing, like what we were talking about. It's hard for me, not always hard for me, because, like Hunter S. Thompson, a druggie and everything, and there were parts of his life that weren't great either.
Yeah.
You could separate the art. For some reason, it is hard for me to separate Cosby from that. Like, I can separate other comedians, artists, white, black, native, that are shitheads, did terrible things. Like Richard Pryor, wasn't the greatest to his wife. But, like, I don't know, something like that where you drug someone and take advantage of them. Okay, so just to get into this a little bit, did I tell you the story that my mom told me? She was supposed to fly on a private plane to go hang out with Bill Cosby.
No, that's
back in the day.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's news.
Yeah. So her and her friend were supposed to go, and it ended up getting more or less canceled. They just didn't go. Instead, what my mom told me was, so my mom was me when I was in like high school at 21. Yeah, we got kind of blacked out and did some lewds. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And it just like, finding out that, or what was it? I asked her, I'm like, did you ever do cocaine? She's like, there was cocaine everywhere, but no, I never did it. Mind you, my mom lived in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Her whole life until she moved to Michigan when I was born, a little bit after, I think when my younger brother was born. But she's just telling me about like all the drugs that were there. She's always doing lewds and drinking and whatnot. Come to find out, my mom's like the Hunter S. Thompson of women. She's just doing drugs all the time. So, no, my mom's pretty cool. But yeah, she almost had an opportunity. She almost went to Mr. Cosby's, allegedly. This is what she told me. I don't know if it's true, but you meet a lot of people in Vegas. And then also the Red Fox. I told you guys about that.
Yeah, you told
my
us
mom
about
was
it.
Red Fox's favorite Keno dealer at the Frontier Hotel and Casino.
Yeah.
But yeah, role models. Like, so we're going to talk, I guess, TV role models, and to bring up one person, the Uncle Phil character.
So that was James Avery, who is Uncle Phil, also the voice of the Shredder on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that 80s animated series. Phenomenal character. Phenomenal. Like him and Carl, it was a trope in the early 90s where him and Carl would get mixed up a lot, even though they don't look alike, but they're both overweight father figures. So that was always something, they would always get mixed up and stuff. So James Avery was a fantastic Uncle Phil. Like, I haven't watched this new series, but I'm sorry, there's no one that's going to encapsulate the character like that. He was a father figure. He was firm. He definitely took care of his kids. He did not spoil, though he did spoil them, because obviously they were in Bel Air and they were living in the lap of luxury for the early 90s and stuff like that. He was very grounded in his beliefs. and where he came from. And that was another TV dad that you could look at and be like, I could see this guy being a father figure for me. I personally like Carl Winslow a little bit more. He's blue collar. So
yep, I was gonna say Carl Winslow, probably my favorite TV dad of all time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's routes that I could take this episode that could get very dark very quick.
Go for it.
Where, well, no, I was gonna say it's like, well, you could possibly look at Uncle Phil as like a Kamala Harris. He put away people that were using marijuana, and
yeah, I don't know if we can do that, but
it was against the law at the time.
Prosecutors got to do a job, man. You know, birds got to fly and fish got to eat. Like,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say because we're not just gonna. I don't want to rip on all black father figures because that's kind of like, you know, what we done. We're gonna talk about Bob Saget for a second in Full House.
Oh yeah.
So real quick, you know, everyone thought quintessential dad and whatnot, but there's, you know, two other men. It's like almost like 3 men and a baby. But lest we forget, and this is what came out when Bob Saget passed away. I guess rest in peace. A lot of mystery behind that death, right? Am I wrong here?
Wait.
Yeah.
I thought they wrapped up. Go ahead, John.
I don't know the full details, so elaborate.
So, let me give you the full details here real quick. It's okay, John. It's okay. So the whole autopsy, nothing was released. The family blocked everything from getting released. All we know is that he had head trauma that was similar to someone getting hit in the head with a baseball bat multiple times.
Oh,
that's all.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I heard head trauma. That's all I heard.
That's all I heard too. Is head trauma, but how remains a mystery. That's
exactly.
Well, they're saying he possibly had COVID. That's all I heard.
COVID.
That's all
I don't know. It's just strange to me, and I'm not going to get into the conspiratorial aspect.
I mean, we're already there. I heard he possibly had COVID and somehow was unconscious and hit his head or something like that.
An autopsy of Saget showed a fracture at the base of his skull and evidence of bleeding around the brain. But because the skin on the back of Saget's head was still intact, the doctor ruled that the injury would have been likely caused by something hard covered by something soft, such as a carpeted floor. So, yeah.
So
where'd you hear that from? From CNN or MSNBC?
TMZ.
Fake news.
No, Rolling Stone.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, they're okay.
See, yeah. I'm just fucking talking. I'm talking out of my ass.
So
right
conspiracy
now.
Was it Will Smith? He smacked him. He fell.
Yeah. That's all. God damn it.
Damn.
And then the father from Step by Step. Now, well, we're okay. Role models, not just father figures. Role models.
Patrick Duffy was the father in Step by Step.
Yeah, I don't really look at him as any type of role model.
No, that was just a reboot of Brady Bunch. That's all.
What about MacGyver?
Was he a dad though?
Are we talking dads? We're talking
do they
role
necessarily
models.
have to be dads to be?
No. MacGyver he abhorred using violence and he used inventions. So I say MacGyver would be a good guy to go with because he used ingenuity to come out of bubble gum and a paperclip, and he created dynamite. So
bubble gum and paperclip, and then he gets a piece of wood and I don't know, a couple steel bolts and makes a fucking gun out of it. The guy was quintessential like action TV star.
Old MacGyver, not new MacGyver. Old MacGyver.
They canceled
with the mullet.
Pretty sure they canceled.
They canceled the new MacGyver.
Yeah,
okay,
they did.
Yeah,
that was
new. I hate these new reimagined. But reimagined means no imagination. Let's be clear.
Hollywood's out of ideas.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation multiple times. It's just, hey, all right, put a new spin on it.
Yeah. I mean, we got the new Avatar coming out though, so I'm excited about that.
God, no one gives a shit. No, it's been way too long for a fucking sequel.
I can't wait. Oh my god!
I want to see if. Do you think it'll do better than Dune?
Hell no.
Well, you hated Dune. Why do you care, John?
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think if people go and see that, they're going to. He's
for
hyped nostalgia
purposes. Yeah,
he's hyped it up so much. Where it's like, what? When did that movie come out? 2009.
Yeah, but what can you do that's going to make anything worthwhile? You know, it's James Cameron. he has a lot to answer for too in Hollywood. Like, who cares? Like, I don't care about James Cameron. I don't.
What did he
He's
do? Did he
irrelevant.
drown some cats? What don't I know?
No,
about
actually,
this guy?
he's a very vindictive director. Like how he treats people
Yeah.
on his sets. He's just, and it's like, oh well, it's just Cameron. No, Cameron is very abusive.
Well, then, yeah, let's look at directors. Like a lot of people looked at least in the like people going into film, looked at some directors as role models in a sense. Stanley Kubrick was a piece of shit. What he did to Shelley Duvall was abhorrent.
They had to rescind her Razzie because they did a reflection and said she got a Razzie for worst actress in The Shining.
What?
And they had to rescind that.
That can't be right.
No, that happened. That happened. I actually read an article on that. Like the Razzies had to rescind that award because they said, given the circumstances she was under on set and how she was treated, there was no need for her to get a Razzie for that. So we rescind even offering that.
But Razzies are usually for like
The worst.
bad acting.
Yes, they gave it to. She was nominated for worst actress.
Did you guys consider her acting in that movie?
No,
bad?
I thought she did.
I thought it was very good.
I thought she did very well.
Jeez, man, I think just the standards have just changed over the years. And
It's just the Razzies, though. Who takes them seriously? You know what I mean? Like,
working actors and actresses, they do. That's
Halle
but,
Berry,
it's
I'm
not-
sure Halle Berry did.
Halle Berry went and accepted the award.
I know.
but that's after she got an award. That was like the year after. So she already
who cares? Like,
and she owned that shit. That was brilliant on her part.
yeah.
Well, you have like Kubrick, you have Cameron, these horrible directors. But what is it? Joss Whedon. People looked up to him after Avengers, and then all this stuff has come out for multiple movies and multiple shows that or maybe not multiple shows, but specifically Buffy.
Bryan Singer too.
Yep. Well, that's par for the course for Hollywood.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's how
Well,
you
let's be
clear.
That's let's be clear. That's an alleged thing that happened. So
Allegedly.
Well, a lot of people in Hollywood that want to become successful take the orgone energy from children. Let's be real here. Allegedly, I don't want to get sued.
Allegedly.
But
Dangerous game.
yeah,
Dangerous.
yeah.
sorry, guys.
So I want to
gotta
get
always
this.
go that way when we talk about Hollywood.
I know. Pedophilia, somebody getting raped.
You owe me a Coke.
I want to understand something. So, James Avery, Uncle Phil, that's your number one male role model of all time?
I wouldn't go as far to say my number one. My number one would be George Jefferson, hands down.
What?
Sherman Hemsley.
How
The reason
so?
why is because he didn't take no shit. He just didn't. He was a self-made man. He worked hard. He was the first person to say honky on television. Like he didn't take shit from nobody. Like, I'm not saying that's the right way to go, saying that. George Jefferson was the wake-up call for a lot of Black Americans because he didn't take anything. Him and his antithesis was Archie Bunker. And Archie was set in his ways. He was more of the blue-collar, World War II, this is how life should be, I like Ike kind of person. While George was like, I have to work for every dollar that I get just to serve someone like you, and I'm not going to be like that. But he also had the same bigoted behavior as Archie did.
Mm-hmm.
They were both the same. They were one and the same. They had to eventually have to respect one another at one point. But George, when they moved on up to that deluxe apartment in the sky, George was the guy. Like, that was just self-made. My man had tons of dry cleaners under the Jefferson name. I mean, he was a good father to Lionel. He was a good husband. I mean, he lived the American dream. He did what he needed to do. Had a Black maid. I mean, obviously that's not what everyone wants, but I mean, he just had it all. And you couldn't...
I mean, he employed his people at least. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
gonna have a maid.
If you want to look at it like
she didn't
that,
talk.
yeah.
She didn't take no shit either. What was her name?
Yeah, Florence.
Florence. Yeah, she didn't take no shit.
Yeah, Florence.
Well, that's an excellent segue. There's other role models as well that aren't just male. You have
Yeah,
the
that's
female role
true.
model.
That's true. Yeah.
One that I will bring up that is not TV nor film, Beyonce.
Yep. The Beehive.
Yep, the Beehive CEO, and she is same thing with Serena Williams, Michelle Obama. So when people say, and this probably is not a hot take, but maybe a hot take, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's not a great person. Like, a lot of people took her stuff out of context.
Elaborate on that, man, because I don't know that much. I knew about her, but she's revered in such a way that I don't really know that much to say or yay or nay.
I love this episode.
It's like we gotta cut these people down now.
Well, what about Shan Doherty in 90210 Beverly Hills?
I wouldn't go as far as to say she's a role model.
Queen Latifah. And
Queen Latifah, absolutely.
See?
Yeah.
Black women.
Are you throwing hot take balls to see if we're gonna hit or not?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. You're hip to my game, John. I'm sorry. I am still looking at the Grammys and nobody update. Oh shit.
Yeah.
The president of Ukraine is on screen at the Grammys.
You know what?
All right.
They were trying to get him on at the Oscars, I heard.
Maybe
and I'm like, he's in the middle of a war, like
he can make time for the Grammys though. Maybe he's coming out with an album. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
more female, more female role models. I like this.
I would go.
Well, I was gonna just say real quick, and we can jump to something else. But you can look on it, like specifically the Marshall Project. Do you guys know about the Marshall Project?
No.
Okay, so she had very conservative views, specifically on. She had a mixed record on race and a lot of, possession crimes, especially marijuana. She was conservative in some respects.
Yeah.
Politico, I don't know. It's hard to fucking pick anything. This is technically an opinion piece.
Yeah.
Kimberly Whale is a professor of law at the University of Baltimore School of Law. This person wrote this.
What about The Undertaker? He just got inducted to the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Do you look at let's be realistic, is any wrestler considered a role model?
The Rock.
I don't know, man.
And boos from the gallery.
You know what? You're throwing them, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, you're just resisting all my efforts.
Why am I still hitting?
Hey, every swing isn't going to be a home run, John. That's all I got. I mean, I got a lot of real role models in entertainment. I thought Denzel growing up was a role model.
Yeah, Denzel. I thought Samuel L. Jackson was a role model.
Well, he caught me later.
Come to find out, and we're circling back around the Slapgate. He dapped up Will, like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Supposedly, he dapped up Will and was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you handle business.
Are you breaking news right now on
That's
Black Twitter?
Supposedly what happened. I don't know if that's true or not, but I was listening to NPR and they brought that up. Like, Sam Jackson was like, yeah, that's, you handling your business, man. Like, it is what it is.
In the moment, I can see probably that behavior being it already has been praised. I think we all knew it at the time. At least you and I, John, at the end of our whole video, which you can catch on YouTube, the highlights of that night. We basically said it at the end, like, you're going to get two extremes on both sides. You're going to get one extreme applauding Will Smith's behavior, and then you're going to get the other extreme totally just disavowing and just destroying what he did. So I think people just need to take a step back and just see what it really is. It was a fatal mistake, but thankfully Chris Rock wasn't fatally injured, and I think a lot of comedians have basically did what they're supposed to do. They had Chris Rock's back, and I was glad about that. They didn't I thought they were gonna make a ton of jokes, which they are, but they took it serious. This is the first time I've seen comedians to get, by and large, kind of take it serious, where it was like, whoa, I know they're joking about it, but from their intention, this don't sound like a joke. They're taking this shit serious.
Yeah, this is apocalypse for comedians.
Oh, it
in
is.
Some sense.
Oh, it is.
But this is how I look at it. And I sent you that little screenshot of Tim Dillon on his Twitter, who said, Congratulations
yeah.
to Will Smith. You ended the Russia-Ukraine war, which ended COVID or something like that. It's like COVID was ended by the Russian-Ukraine war, and the Russian-Ukraine war was ended by Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, which is more or less how we look at society now. Like, these things have happened. Now, COVID was big. It was all over the world. But I know that the leader of Ukraine is on the Grammys right now, but you do notice that a lot of the stuff that's being posted on Instagram, on Twitch, or not the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere, it's all kind of slowing down. You're not seeing a lot on Ukraine and Russia anymore, which this is how our minds work. Since the 24-hour news cycle, shit gets rehashed.
It was nice to have a break, Aaron. I'm not gonna lie, just for a night.
Yeah,
and that's nothing against Ukrainians or anybody because I saw a news report. This is actually today, Sunday, was the first night I really viewed a report from that whole war or engagement, and it was like, oh my God, bodies in the street. They're talking about mass genocide and all that stuff. It was like, oh my God. No wonder I didn't tune in. And I'm not trying to be intentionally ignorant about it. I knew it was terrible, but geez, this is kind of shit. If this was in black and white, you would have thought it was the 1940s. But with that said, that weekend, I needed a break. And for that 1 hour, I was happy about it. It was like, oh, thank God. I don't have to think about my own life. And that's why I didn't want to. No, for real. It was like, a lot of death has been in the air in our personal lives. And it was just nice. It was just nice.
There's some good news. There's some good news, especially for someone's company that they work for. I'm not going to say who, but
I saw that.
Staten Island. Yeah, they unionized. Amazon workers at Staten Island unionized, which bravo.
A miracle.
I was watching that. I was watching that or reading about that, and they were like, Amazon did everything possible to stop them from unionizing, and it didn't work. And good for them. Good for them, because
let's keep the ball rolling.
I'm pro-union. I was in the union when I was a federal employee back in the day, and the union, well, let me be clear. I am pro-union, but your union needs to do work for you. Don't just be a part of the union just for the sake of it, because some unions are just there and they don't do any fucking footwork, and it annoys me.
So then those people, you got to be active in your union. So vote those people out.
Yeah, because I was a union rep and I had to really step in a lot. And it really annoyed me, because when I would go back and report to my union leadership, like, yo, we need to do something about this, they were very passive. Well, we don't want to rock the boat because, we want to work hand in hand with these people. No, motherfucker. Yeah. You're supposed to rock the boat.
Burn the boat.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But that's the problem with a lot of these. That's why a lot of these unions fall short of membership, because you're paying dues for people not to do a fucking thing. And it annoys me. It drives me up a wall.
Guys, you want to know who my role model is? The fucking working Joe that goes to work every single day to support his family, his kids, wife, all that, trying to unionize a corporation that is more or less like their imprint is all over the place. Don, we have one getting built right in the state fairgrounds. It looks like a goddamn prison. And as far as I'm concerned, those people are my role models. People that go, I could give a shit about, I guess maybe Homer Simpson. I do appreciate it. I do that.
He's a role model.
Power plant that works at a nuclear power plant or affords 2 cars, a house, is able to take.
It is a 2-car family.
Yeah. And how many bedrooms? It's 4 bedrooms.
Al Bundy.
Al Bundy on a shoe salesman. That actually was a meme.
Did he have a second job either?
No. It's just a shoe salesman.
In the mall. How does he do that? Yeah. I think it was a strip mall too.
It's funny. It's funny how that character turned out, because he was like blue collar, while later on Ed O'Neill, who went to Modern Family, became white collar at that point. So it's just so crazy how he went from one extreme to the other. So weird. But
you mentioned the guy, and I remember that report during the pandemic of Amazon workers filing out of Amazon because of I think unsafe practices going on during the pandemic, or it was something like that. And then the story just went away. I was like, oh, okay. Heard about them trying to do a union, and it seemed like Amazon kind of squashed it. And then all of a sudden, I saw a judgment last night at NPR report, who did an excellent job of explaining what happened, and also mentioned that NPR is funded by Amazon, by the way.
Is it really? Bullshit.
wow.
They mentioned it.
Not
completely, but they said among the people that fund them is Amazon. But in the report, they were very transparent. I give them a lot of credit, but they were saying how this guy, in a memo that Amazon, a leaked memo that got leaked, somebody in Amazon said this guy who's trying to start a union is not smart nor articulate. How they fired him on the pretense that he was not safe during the pandemic. He didn't follow the rules, which okay. Anyway, so that was their pretense to fire this guy, and this guy started a grassroots movement at one of the bus stops near Amazon, the place that he used to work. And during break, he would gather people around, bring in food from his house or bought food. I don't know how he did this, but they started a GoFundMe. They had barbecues, and basically he was totally underestimated. And Amazon, like you said, had mandatory meetings trying to dissuade people from voting yes for the union, saying how it's bad for the business. Basically, why would you do this? Amazon's already a great place to work. And through all that, this guy not only prevailed, but is the president of this union. So this guy is
good for him.
This guy is my role model. I can't think of his name right now. I'm a bad host. I didn't know we were going to bring this up, but that is the most insane story I've heard in 3 years. It's like
Chris Smalls.
Chris Smalls. Good. My hat's off
for him.
You're not articulate or smart.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I love how he said too. It's like, I just want to thank Jeff Bezos for going to space.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos got the hell up out of there, though. He's not technically their CEO anymore. Speculating, he saw the storm coming. So
100%. And you're seeing it at Starbucks. Like, they're unionizing, the ones in Buffalo.
I hope they can do it at Tesla, because really, Tesla, what concerns me about them is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is maniacal, and he has to be brought down a peg or two, in my opinion.
I love this episode. Are we bringing down people?
I think my problem with Elon Musk is that he's got these strongman mentalities that are very disturbing for someone who could probably change the world for the better if he wasn't sniffing his own fucking farts. That's the problem.
It's alpha male shit, because now he wants to go fight Vladimir
Putin. Yeah. And I'm like, he's a joke, man. At first, I admired this dude. I'm not gonna lie, man. Full transparency, I admired this guy. I thought he was Iron Man when I first got to see him. Like, I was like, this dude is Tony Stark, man. Like, I really felt this guy was something special. But then when I started hearing about how his workers were treated and how he was very pro-corporation and not for the people, I was like, no, man, somebody's got to bring this guy. Somebody's got to take the starch out of this shirt. Like, that's how I felt about that dude, man. Like, I have a problem with that.
Breaking news: Lady Gaga is singing on the Grammys.
Is that breaking news?
I like her dress.
That's not breaking news. What is it? What is it? A meat? Like, not. She already wore a meat dress. What is it? Like a fucking I don't know, butt plug dress?
No, it's actually a normal dress. It's like
very nice.
aqua seafoam colored dress.
I think she's getting out of that motif of the
it's old.
Obscure for her.
Yeah,
I think that might be her moving away from that.
She looks good.
I'm gonna say,
oh shit, Bradley Cooper just got on stage. She's peeing. No, I'm kidding. That's scene from that great movie.
Like he already had enough.
You remember that scene where his character went on stage and just pissed on himself? Why would he do that to Bradley? Why do you do that to himself?
Hey, man, all I know is
really. Ugh. You know, I always thought he modeled himself after 3 real life people. One was Eddie Vedder, one was a little bit of Kurt Cobain, and Kristen Christopher. I think those are the 3.
Chris Christopher.
Did I say it
mean
wrong?
That character?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. I could see that. He got his start doing like kind of sketch comedy a little bit.
Bradley
doing
Cooper.
Stella. Yeah, Bradley Cooper.
Huh.
What is it? It's David Wayne, Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black had this comedy trio, and he was in a lot of their early sketches, just hanging out with all of them. And then he was in the movie that David Wayne and Michael Showalter wrote and David Wayne directed, Wet Hot American Summer. That's how he got in.
He was in that.
Yeah.
And he was also in The Wedding Crashers. I remember that because he was such a douchebag.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that. Yeah, he was.
This was even before that. This was like the early or late 90s that they
Yeah.
were doing some of this stuff. And he was already, that's kind of how he got started. And then he was on the Actors Studio.
Yeah, in the audience.
With
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
Oh, what that was the guest on?
I think,
at the
was he
time?
talking to Sean? Oh, well, yeah, I think Sean Penn was the guest. What a fucking goddamn man! That guy.
I know you don't like Sean Penn.
I fucking hate him.
We don't
Yeah,
like.
Sean.
Oh, we're canceling him now.
come to Detroit, sweetheart.
Ain't he in
I'll
Ukraine?
give you a tulip.
Isn't he on
Huh?
like ground zero in Ukraine right now?
I don't
Oh,
think
I'm sure he
That's crazy.
that
If
guy,
he
man.
is, what do you do?
what he did a lot of shitty things which we don't have to discuss, but he's one of those people that the out of touch Hollywood types. There's other stuff too, possible allegations and whatnot that have come out, but people seem to have forgotten about assault and whatnot. And then also I Am Sam. You don't remember that?
You didn't like I Am Sam?
Wait, he was.
Are you serious?
He was
about
in that movie?
guy. Yeah, he plays a mentally handicapped person. He went.
Oh yeah,
In the
yeah,
Spike
that
Lee
was-
movie?
But you know what? That was like that wasn't. No, that
No.
was Summer of Sam.
That was Summer
Yeah,
Sam. That was a good
I Am
movie.
Sam is the movie with Dakota Fanning, and
Oh.
he's the guy who is
It's
challenged. I know what movie you're talking
mentally
about.
challenged, and that Dakota Fanning is his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Tell me more
Yeah.
about this
I know
movie.
what you're talking about.
No, we're not gonna go. We're not gonna
Oh, no,
cross
no,
that
no,
line.
I didn't think it was awful. I mean,
It
it's
was
far worse
bad.
movie.
Wait. Was
No,
he
on the scale of
miscast?
Forrest Gump to Happy Jack, it was in the middle. It wasn't.
I don't know about that. From Forrest Gump to
Okay,
Happy
wait,
Jack.
so was he miscast or he just did a bad
That's an
job?
episode that we have to have. Is like normal people playing mentally handicapped.
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Oh
That
yeah,
movie,
that
the
was the other sister. Yeah, now,
Yikes.
yeah, that's a very
Great actor.
difficult.
It's the same thing
I
as
think that's the one-
Tiptoes.
Oh boy,
It's like Gary Oldman playing a dwarf.
He's terrible.
Yeah, that was so bad, man. And I mean, how did they put his knees? But like, was his legs folded behind him, or was his legs like in the holes?
He was just
in
on
the
his.
floor?
He was just on his knees. I think that's it.
Oh
And they
my
did
God,
certain angles.
that movie. I was really legitimately mad that you
Kill
said
your
that,
role
dude.
model.
So he was
Kill-
literally on his last legs in that movie.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty much, man. Don't. You know what? God damn it! Stop going for the low hanging.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to have fun in this episode. What are you doing? I don't want to talk about
damn it!
Ukraine.
Like,
You're
y'all keep
killing
going
me.
for the low hanging fucking fruit.
I didn't want to talk about Will Smith either, though. But God
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
Yeah, let's just try to stay away from it because everyone. it's easy to go there and be like,
I
yeah,
know,
Chris
and
Rock, Will
You
Smith.
wanna
We
talk
did
about-
enough.
You want to talk about low hanging fruit? That's the lowest.
Yeah.
And I've had enough of that.
John,
Yeah.
we covered it. I'm glad you didn't want to talk about it. It was like good. I'm done
Shit. Yeah,
with it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I was done with
man.
it after that night. I was like, okay.
I was too, man. And then I woke up the next morning to like meme apocalypse.
Oh, that was
Like,
funny.
It was
There's news all over the place. I'm just like, fuck this. Okay.
Everybody's like talking about, and I, personally. Okay, never mind. I don't.
Yeah,
wanna-
we're talking about it. We're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
No,
it's
No,
only
no,
gonna-
no.
So anyway, role models. So Charles Barkley said, "I am not a role model."
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court. Parents should be role models. Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
There you go,
So-
Charles.
Charles Barkley, Sir Charles Barkley.
Yes.
was a phenomenal basketball player. And I remember when that book came out and how people was giving him shit for saying that. But was he not wrong in saying that? Or should we hold up people who hold themselves accountable? Like, do you think as a basketball player saying something like that should be, glorified? Like, hey man, I told you what I was. I told you what I'm not.
I was gonna say, I don't think anyone should be glorified. Role models are role models, I guess, in a sense. But when we like put these people up on a pedestal,
that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, it becomes dangerous, and it, like the whole thing with taking what I said, like regular people challenging it, like going against the grain, getting through adversity on all levels and whatnot. That's kind of what I look at. Like the dude that goes to work every day, that is probably hates his life and is depressed, but loves his kids.
Yeah,
loves his wife, takes care of his shit, and is a great person. Or a outstanding member of society. Those are the people we have to hold up. But it's like it's a group. It's not one person.
Yeah, you can't. But the thing is I don't think if you're gonna do that, then don't idolize anyone. Because when you're idolizing everyone, then no one is being idolized. So
After school special podcasts, we don't idolize role models. Even though...
there you go. I just think that you just
I idolize
don't.
Dave Grohl. I love him. Sorry.
My dad once said to me, because I was like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And my dad looked at me straight in the eye and he said, you know what? I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. Like, that summed it up for me. I've always remembered that. Like,
hell yeah.
I would always say, hey man, I want to be just like you, because my dad was everything to me, and my dad was like, nope, don't be like me. Be better than me. And I'm still trying to do that with my son. He had two boys. It was me and my brother.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do the best I can with my son. And I still fall short of that because I want my son to be better than me, as far as how I carry certain things. But I do feel that role models, you have to be mindful of what you are allowing yourself to intake.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainers, fuck them, man. Like, at the end of the day, fuck them. Who needs them? Like, you can go out and do just what they're doing. It may take a little bit longer, but you can do that. Like, you don't need to be that person. I used to idolize Eddie Murphy, man. I loved Eddie Murphy. Like, Eddie Murphy was my guy, but I've never met Eddie Murphy. I don't know how he is behind closed doors. Outside of what I know, E.T. talks about, TMZ. Like, I don't know anything outside of them. But
I was gonna say, like, with you and your son, I do the same thing with my kids. Mm-hmm. I tell them, and I make sure they know, I'm like, I am not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, and if you're gonna look to me as like a role model or something like that, it's the same thing. I tell them, like, you're gonna be better than me, because the person that should have been my role model, and I might talk trash about, I still love my dad, but he wasn't the best person to look up to. So it's like, I'm gonna do better, they're gonna do better, and then more and more generations of my clan aren't gonna be fucked up as much.
Yeah, it takes a long time to do that. Like, build up an empire of people in your family that are learning from past experiences, to do better. Mm-hmm. We can't depend on people we see on TV, man. Wrap it back around. Never meet your heroes, man, because they will let you down, like
kill them.
Yeah, you just don't meet them.
Not literally kill them, but like, I guess
in your mind, in your mind.
Yeah.
What about Xena Warrior Princess? She was a role model for me.
Yes.
Lucy Lawless. Yes.
She's badass in real life too, though.
Yeah.
Like, compared to Kevin Sorbo, who's a fucking bum.
And that bums me out because I love that guy as Hercules.
Hercules, I did too, but he's such a jackass. Him and Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Superman.
Dean Cain's a jackass? Oh,
yeah, he's a big old jackass.
Yeah.
Batman was a role model for me when I was a kid.
Which Batman, though?
Michael Keaton Batman.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
In the
'cause-
cartoon, in the comics.
Yeah. You know what? Val Kilmer, I loved him, man. He did the best he could with what he was given. So I'll just do that. And I'm awful what he's going through, you know, like.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Is there a
awful.
movie between both of you guys where it's like, this character in this film is who I aspire to be? This is the shit.
Oh fuck, man.
Like,
In
this
a
is
movie.
my manhood. If I can just be half of this character, I'll be okay.
You know what? I would say Mr. Tibbs in Heat of the Night.
Oh, really?
We talked about.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think Sidney Poitier represented a part of. Now, I will say this: Sidney Poitier represented a part of Hollywood that a lot of people didn't get to see, like classic Black Hollywood, like just very stood upright, carried himself a certain kind of way, didn't go with the crowd. You know, even though him and Cosby were close, I don't know how close, but I do feel that Sidney is someone that I would aspire to be like.
But
He
that
was-
character in general?
Yeah. Mr. Tibbs was somebody didn't take. Dude was in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch slapped a white guy. Like, you know, it's Mr. Tibbs. He bitch slapped it. You know, like that was a very powerful moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that I would slap somebody, but just having that air of confidence of who you are and knowing whose you are, and just being able to say, hey, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're just not going to do that. I've earned what I've earned, and I don't care what you think I am, but you ain't going to talk to me like that.
I would say, and that's a good one, John. I would say Will Ferrell in The Wedding Crashers.
Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
I've always had an affinity for that character.
Did you really?
No, I was gonna say probably Denzel and.
I was sitting here thinking,
Hey,
like,
I'm about the jokes
Jazz?
tonight.
Yeah.
Not Will Ferrell, Denzel and Glory. I like
Yeah.
his character arc in that. Denzel and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Huge character arc. Either one of those characters. I guess it's a Denzel theme for me tonight, but definitely because I saw the ugly side of humanity, and then you see the redemption side. Oh, hell, Rocky. That's a good one.
Rocky, yeah.
John Travolta, Boogie Fever.
Who couldn't get behind Rocky? I don't think anybody it wasn't a race war when he fought Apollo. You know what I mean? Like, people were rooting for Rocky because he was the underdog. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh shit, Carl Weathers in Predator.
Carl Weathers. Yeah. But no, Carl Weathers is Chubbs and Happy Gilmore.
Or Carl Weathers in Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. Which one was that?
You didn't. Oh. Come on, Aaron. Show your black side. You know Action Jackson.
100%. Yeah. Are you
Action
kidding
Jackson.
I don't know the
Which one
character's
was that?
name, though. Oh, it's
But
Action Jackson.
was just Action Jackson.
Jackson.
It was just him. It was Carl Weathers, more or less his own movie, being like an action hero. I don't remember the plot, mind you.
Okay, all right. I gotta check that out.
Mr. T and the A-Team.
Oh, B.A. Baracus.
Baracus.
Let me hear you say I pity the fool.
I can relate to him because he's scared of planes too. I always thought if I can get drugged like him before I got on a plane, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And have
Yeah.
muscles. He was still the toughest guy on that show, but he still needed to be drugged to be on the
Yeah.
airplane. So I felt,
And he didn't like anchovies on pizza. I told you no anchovies.
yeah,
Like,
fuck the antro. Why they always gotta do that to the guy?
Yeah.
Or Tom
Yeah.
Selleck in Magnum PI, right? Aaron?
Tom Selleck. I like Tom Selleck. Always showed Detroit love in Magnum PI.
Yes.
He said he only took the role if they allowed him to wear his Detroit Tigers baseball cap
Fuck
in
yeah.
every episode. So
Where
that
is he
was the
from?
only
Is he
reason
from
why
Detroit?
took that role. Yeah, he's from Michigan. I think he's from Redford. I think.
Get the fuck out of here. I didn't know that. Can
I
we look
think.
that up? I don't know. Never
Yeah,
mind.
let me look. Don't quote me on that, but yeah.
Aaron.
Glad you asked. I have two. One is Remo Williams from the movie Remo Williams, Let the Adventure Begin, which technically ended after the first movie.
Based on the Destroyer novel series that sold over 30 million copies.
America's favorite tough guy comes to the screen. In a movie big enough to hold him. Remo Williams. The adventure begins.
Where he does parkour on the Statue of Liberty, and it's just an action-packed adventure by Fred.
Safford or
No.
Savage?
The fuck? No.
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward. And then my true role model is Danny DeVito in Twins.
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
good one.
the
I thought you were
shitty
gonna
twin.
say Batman Returns.
The shitty twin.
100%.
I thought you were gonna say Batman Returns for a second.
Oh, he's from Detroit, buddy.
Oh, no,
I was
no, no, no.
wrong. Not ref.
Twins.
Detroit.
That is like all I've been thinking about lately is that movie.
Why?
That's it. I don't know. I can't tell you. It's just, and also supposedly there was a sequel that was going to happen, and Eddie Murphy was going to be in it.
Oh, triplets?
Yeah, was that it? It didn't happen.
That would have been great, dude.
Yeah.
Triplets, and somehow, the gene. That would, you know what? Only the '80s could produce something like that. Which is why we need to go back to our roots. We need to get more into the '80s because there's so much fucked up shit that happened around that time.
Eddie
in
Murphy and
entertainment.
Golden Child.
Golden Child. Yeah, yeah.
My sweet brother Noomsy.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, we did. Yes,
Bill
dude.
Murray in Ghostbusters was a role model. He seemed
Bill
trustworthy.
Murray or
No,
no, I
Eddie
don't know.
or Eddie Hudson. Eddie, yeah.
Ernie
Ernie.
Hudson. Hudson.
Damn it,
Yeah,
that's a buzzer.
Ernie Hudson, which I liked him in Congo. That's the only
That's a
highlight
good
for
one.
me.
Honestly,
Congo.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
Lawrence
Fishburne.
Fishburne in Boys in the Hood.
yes, that was a
Absolutely
good
a
role.
great
That was a
role
good
model.
role. Yeah, yeah.
What's his name? Is it Witherspoon? I can't remember his first name.
John
Friday.
Witherspoon?
John
Yeah.
Witherspoon Pops.
Yeah.
That's
John
actually
Pops
that's a really good
Witherspoon.
one.
Bang, 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 bang.
But
bang.
you win some, you lose some. Or
Yeah.
Yes,
That
But
was
you
like,
live.
but you
You
live.
live to fight another day. That was a
Yes.
good.
Yes.
They're trying to reboot Friday,
Yeah.
and they're trying to reboot White Man Can't Jump. They're putting Jack Harlow and Mahershala Ali in it,
Oh wow. Okay.
which
used to
he
play
was,
basketball.
which he played basketball for real. So
Yeah.
Jack Harlow never played basketball,
Jack,
but
who's
he's
Jack
supposed
Harlow?
to take.
The-
He's a rapper right now.
Ah. I'm sorry.
So trying to take the Woody Harrelson role. They're trying to. I don't want them to reboot that. White Man Can't Jump is a good fucking movie.
It's a great
Do not
movie.
reboot that.
They got the Jeopardy angle in it. Rosie Perez,
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson. I think was still doing Cheers at the time, or did they just end it? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I think he was still doing Cheers at it, and he could ball though. Woody Harrelson could ball. You know what I mean? Like he
Well-
wasn't pretending.
I think maybe we need to do an episode because, like, just thinking about it, all the things that came out in the 80s and the 90s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you didn't really see too many reboots.
No, you didn't. You
and
didn't
now,
No, you didn't. Yeah,
after
right.
2000s, you're seeing reboot after reboot.
because they're trying to cater to a particular audience. They're like, oh, let's see if we can get that nostalgia
Yeah,
kick
us.
through us. Yeah, they're trying to get back to us. Like, you
So
guys
what-
remember The Thing? They tried to do The Thing again, and The Thing prequel was awful
Yeah.
compared to the
It
original.
was the same thing.
yeah,
It was
More or less.
exactly. It was like shot for
Except
shot,
it
same
wasn't as
thing.
cool because it wasn't the puppetry and everything.
yeah, it was
that was used
CGI,
to-
and it
Yeah.
was bad.
But yeah, well, I guess that's probably where we can end it. Kill your heroes, kill your role models, don't have them.
What a happy episode. Oh, this is
Whatever. Yeah, we not. They're not always going to be happy. This one is, a little more fucked up because whenever we talk about Hollywood, I just go to the fucking. Okay, so this is real quick, and then we'll end. Talking about role models. People look at Ted Cruz as a role model.
Tim
whoever's
Taylor,
sick,
tool
sadistic,
time.
a sick, sadistic fucking
Tim
people.
Taylor,
They
you
are.
motherfucker, you.
John Goodman, Roseanne. He was one of my
Yes, John Goodman, another blue collar dad.
Love that guy.
Yes, yeah.
Rock
Yeah.
from Rock.
Rock was good. Yeah. Rock
Aaron
was
will
good.
never let you leave.
Well, have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Hey guys, it's Aaron.
You think you could do me a big fave? Wherever you're listening to this right now, rate and subscribe. Find new episodes where you listen to podcasts, and look for us on all the social media sites and Gmail at After School Special Podcast at Gmail, After School Special Podcast at Instagram and Facebook, and After School SPE3 on Twitter.
Breaking news: Lady Gaga is singing on the Grammys.
Is that breaking news?
I like her dress.
That's not breaking news.
Yeah,
What is it? A fucking? What is it? A meat? Like not? She already wore a meat dress. What is it? Like a fucking? I don't know. Butt plug dress.